Well, thanks to the 2010 census, Texas is getting 4 additional seats in the U.S. House, which means lawmakers must redraw the district lines. Our friend Congressman Lloyd Doggett is here to talk about the impact of this. I know in an interview last month you were quoted as saying, oh goodness, this could really affect your reelection, the people that you represent here in the Austin area.
Well, I think it's the people that is the big factor here, and many people will view this as being just sort of an inside baseball, politicians fighting with each other, but this is about whether you ever see your member of Congress or your state senator if you have a problem. The idea that a community that has grown as rapidly as we have here in Central Texas should suddenly be split 4 ways just to get rid of me and to divide up some of our is wrong. But it means that you don't have the accessibility to your member. As we were talking, I live down the street from Fox.
Right, right here in downtown Austin.
If people have problems with a federal agency, I try to be there. I try to participate in community activities each weekend that I'm home for one of the many good causes that we have here and that you're always promoting on Fox with weekend gatherings and the like.
Sure.
You can't do that if my time is split half here and half in San Antonio, nearly as much, nor can someone who's from Weatherford or Junction represent Barton Springs in an effective way. Similarly, in terms of accountability, you don't get to hold your member as accountable face-to-face or really know what they're doing because they're always somewhere else.
Yeah, you can't really knock on your representative's door, whether it's a state representative or a U.S. congressperson.
Exactly, and that's what people have a right to demand, particularly since Texas is getting 4 new seats. There's no good reason why we don't have districts that are more compact and together. A good example of how to do that is the district that's been designed up in Williamson and Bell County. It puts 2 counties together that have many interests, and the member can be very accessible. That's what we should have here in Central Texas. And there is one other factor very close to Fox, and that is, as you know from having lived in San Antonio yourself, many different TV stations down there. When it comes election time, there'll be a need, if there's a San Antonio to Austin district, to spend twice as much money because you need to be on television both in the San Antonio market and in the Austin market. Or in the case of our new state senator for Onion Creek and Dove Springs, to be in Laredo, San Antonio, and Austin. And that's, we don't need more money poured in politics than is already there. So if we want accessible, accountable, and responsible members, we avoid these radical schemes like that is being proposed in the legislature.
And it's up to state lawmakers right now, with 2 weeks to go in this session, to really draw these lines?
Exactly. We're in the final countdown, and tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, I believe the Senate Redistricting Committee may be laying out yet another map with some hearings next week. Citizens that are concerned about this can go to the website Keep Austin Together and learn more about it. Keep Austin Together provides updates on our goal, which is to do just that. Though there were a number of strange changes in the state Senate map yesterday, the map that was adopted does keep Senator Watson in about 3/4 of Travis County. That's the kind of keeping together we need more of, even though there's some deficiencies with that map.
Well, and Congressman, you talked about accountability and accessibility, but is it kind of a partisan issue too? You've got a majority of Republicans right now, drawing these lines, and as a Democrat, that could hurt the D side of things, right?
It could. We'll have 36 seats. There are only 9 Democrats out of that group at present. The feeling was that the new seats should be split so that there are 2 new Hispanics because of the growth of the Hispanic population and 2 Republicans from the suburbs. That seemed fair. This map proposes to do something else.
Okay.
I think our goal, accessible, responsible participation, but citizens can get involved and make a difference, and they ought to follow this. They can submit their letter as testimony to one of these committees and voice their concern. We can't give up on this because it really goes to the heart of our democracy.
And we shall see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Do you think they can do it in 2 weeks?
It's a short time frame, but we've seen other strange things happen where all debate is cut off at the legislature, no amendments. So if there's enough will there to do this, it could happen, but I think this is why we need more citizens speaking up and voicing their concern, to see that Austin isn't torn apart.
Okay, this is where you come in. Congressman Lloyd Doggett, thank you so much for this. And it's amazing, not only are state lawmakers looking at this, but really lawmakers up on Capitol Hill,
That's
too.
right.
Absolutely. All right, thank you.